Great. And now we are so privileged and so thankful to be joined by Daniel Cutting. And Daniel, thanks so much for taking the time out. Over to you. Do your thing.
Okay, here we go, one more. You ready? Woo! Thank you. I'll just turn the music on. Hey Siri, stop. There we go. Can you
Unbelievable.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is that right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate.
Woo!
I bet it's a bit weird for you doing all that though and not getting a round of applause at the end of it, but you know.
Nah, I'm used to that. No one ever claps for me. One sec, I'm just gonna flip the camera so I can see you. Hang on. Where are we going? Hello.
Mate, unbelievable.
Well, thank you, mate. I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks to your wife as well for filming you.
Yeah, she's getting better. You know, we're still trying to slowly learning, but you know, no one's perfect, are they? I think I swallowed about 8 flies as well during that. It's like the time of the evening where the flies come
out. Mate, well, thank you so much for joining us today. I so appreciate it. Yeah,
pleasure.
So great to have you with us. Got some
I'm
questions.
not that pleased to see a Man United shirt though. I don't know what's going on there. That wasn't part of the deal that you'd be wearing a Man United shirt.
What can I say? What can I say? Sports quiz. I've got to get this old retro one out. So, are you an MK Dons fan, Dan?
Loosely. I mean, I'm from Milton Keynes. I've been to a game. That's about as loyal as I am.
Okay.
I'm Arsenal.
Arsenal. Fair enough. We won't have a fight about it.
No.
So Dan, some questions for you. So I know you kind of do more of the YouTube stuff now, but like thinking about football freestyling, how long have you been doing that for?
Yeah, I've been doing freestyle for quite a while now. I mean, I started learning tricks and skills when I was probably, ever since I could walk, Dad put a football in there and said, football's going to be your thing. And I was kind of an all-rounder at sports, but football was always the one that would stick. So in terms of playing football, I did a lot of that, but then I just love freestyle. I just love to try and be creative. When I got to a point of, I started learning like tricks at 12, 13 years old. I learned around the world, which is one of the most kind of like common skills now. I think a lot of, hopefully people watching will be able to hopefully master around the world. If you don't know it, I've got a YouTube little video on it, so you can go check that out. But once I've kind of learned that around the world and I started to learn quickly, it really encouraged me to just keep practicing and keep doing it. And I was about 16 years old and I did 27,000 keep yuppies just out in the front garden one day. And I think it was at that point, after my brother, bless him, counted every single one for me. That was a challenging bit, him counting that high. And then I thought, you know what, I might be pretty good at this. And then I started to kind of learn the tricks and the skills, and it kind of all started to grow from there, really.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I can't even do it around the world, so, you'll have to teach me that one sometime. So you're doing the YouTube stuff now, but thinking about across, all the stuff you've done with freestyling and everything else, what have been kind of the unforgettable moments in your career?
Yeah, I feel like I've been very blessed. Like I've worked extremely hard to get where I am. Obviously, I really believe that I've had some unbelievable experiences, firstly to travel, because I absolutely love to travel. To have got to perform in over 40 countries around the world is just like unbelievable, some of the biggest stadiums in the world. But probably some of the standout things for me would be meeting, playing with and working with people like Messi, Neymar, Zinedine Zidane, Pele, to name a few. I don't want to start name dropping, but they're some of my favourites. And not to meet them and get an autograph, but actually to work with them and to, I've been on set with Neymar and I'm specifically been flown in to try and show him and work out what skills can he do, can I teach him something, and how's it going to look best in the commercial, in the advert. And then as well as that, a lot of the time I get to body double. If I'm like the right kind of fit in terms of, their physique, I'll body double for Beckham, for Gerrard, for Thomas Muller, for Zidane, in different adverts. So it looks like it's them doing the skills, but actually it's me who's doing it a lot of the time.
So you can do better skills than Zidane and Beckham and all those guys.
Yeah, I'm confident. They're great footballers. I'm not gonna say I'm as good a footballer as them, obviously, but in terms of the skills, I mean, you've got the standout players like Ronaldo and Ronaldinho who are unbelievable. But even those guys, I fancy my chances.
Great. Well, of tricks, stuff like that. Is there a favourite one you do? I mean, I reckon I could guess it from watching the video. There's a lot of balancing on the head going on. But
yeah, I utilise the bald head quite a bit, to be honest. It's good to do that.
Yeah. Is it true that you've got a Guinness World Record for the rolling it on your head?
Yeah, I've got the world record for that. So like balancing it in your temple and then rolling it. I'll show you. And then so starting, you see I've got it right here. Starting there, rolling, and then going there. And it's the most that you can do. I did, the old record was only, it was 550 or something in a row, and I did 1,810.
Oh my word.
So I smashed that one. If I'm breaking a world record, I want to know that I've got it for like the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So I've got 8 world records now, which to be honest, like growing up, I always wanted to be the best at something, and I kind of guess it would have been football if it was going to be anything, as opposed to, stuffing Pringles in your mouth or whatever some of the world records are now. But the fact that I've got 8 world records and I broke 3 world records last year, and I just want to keep going and keep bettering myself and see how many I can get.
Yeah, mate, amazing. 8 world records. Cool. Wow. So Dan, thinking a bit more about, so you're a Christian, and so could you tell us just a little bit about when you became a Christian?
Yeah, sure. So for me, I grew up in a Christian family. I feel really blessed and privileged that I was able to, born into a Christian family. My mum and dad I've been committed Christians ever since I was young, and going to church on a Sunday morning was like, you know, the normal thing to do. Like the weekend would come around, I'd play football on a Saturday and go to church on a Sunday. And I thought other kids were the weird ones when they weren't going to church. And I was just like, hang on, you're like, why are you not going to church? And then I realized that probably I was the minority that was, but they were my two things that I just loved. But I made a commitment when I was 6 years old, praying a prayer, asking Jesus to become my best friend, asking him into my heart. Obviously, I was a pretty perfect little 6-year-old, so I hadn't done a lot wrong at that age, you know, model. No, I was probably a nightmare. But yeah, I knew at that point, even at that stage in my life, I looked at my mum and dad and I knew there was something different about them. And I knew it was to do with this relationship with Jesus. And I just wanted it for me. And I didn't want to just, and then it was kind of, you know, a gradual process over the years, going to Spring Harvest and Soul Survivor and Christians in Sport, you know, and all these different things that I went to build on that foundation of becoming a Christian at that age. So that was the moment I became a Christian, but I believe it was a real, gradual thing. You know, going to church on a Sunday was really important to me, but I knew that didn't make me a Christian, you know, so it was just trying to work out, okay, what do I do? What do I need to do in order to make this the biggest and the best part of my life? Not just something I've said, I want this to happen, but then forget about it. So that's the kind of thing, even now, I still try and, you know, you're trying to work out every day as a Christian.
Yeah, amazing. So in terms of, thinking about your faith as a Christian and your life and your career as freestyler YouTuber, how do they go together? How does your faith affect, your life as a YouTuber and freestyler?
Yeah, well, I guess the right answer would be to say that it affects every part of it. You know, that's ultimately what we want. Whatever job you do, whatever you're going to, you know, grow up to do, if you're young watching this or whatever, you want to be able to do something which glorifies God. And I've, you know, worked really hard at the skills, practiced some skills for, you know, 5-6 years and still haven't quite managed them. But for me, it's about recognizing that my relationship with God is the most important thing. And I think, especially in the industry that I'm in, and the freestyle stuff is, you know, as many highs as I've had, for every one high, I've probably had 10 lows. You know what I mean? For every one job that I got or one casting that I went to and they said, yes, you're right, there's 10 others that they said, no, you're not what we're looking for, you know? So there's a lot of that in this kind of, in that entertainment industry. But I think it's an amazing thing being a Christian, because once you can just, you know, recognize and try and stick to that audience of one, and that, you know, that like, okay, I'm doing this for God. And yes, I know I get muddled along the way, but ultimately I want to glorify God through what I do. So even if I'm successful, even if I'm not, if my heart is in the right place and I want to do it for that reason, then I think I can achieve amazing things. It doesn't always mean it's going to be easy. It actually, the Bible says it's the more difficult route. You know, it's not easy to be a Christian, but there's something so amazing, rewarding about having a God that's just constantly there through those awful times when you just feel like rubbish because someone says you're not good enough, or, oh, you're never going to do this, you're never going to do that, you know. And I think having God there and having that relationship with him is just so key, and that foundation is just like the most amazing thing.
Yeah, you kind of touched on next question that I was going to ask, really, about kind of challenges, you know, being a Christian in the environment that you find yourself in. Yeah,
no, it's definitely challenging. I think because as well, it's you kind of have to be like a little bit out there, you know, like with my YouTube videos, I try to be really energetic, and I'm an energetic person, I'm always active and stuff, but you kind of just want to be as true to yourself as you can be, though. And there are lots of challenges because you are faced with a lot of negativity, you know, trolls and people like that, you know. You think, oh, how can you be that horrible, you know? But people, it's amazing. When I started to break through onto the scene, I was this kind of like big bald guy, you know, and literally it was almost like the skills weren't relevant because every single comment would be, ha ha, you've got no hair.
Yeah.
And like this, like, it's just absolutely mad. I think that now, and I think some of the comments very hurtful, but it's amazing how you can go from one comment being, oh, you're a vision of hope for those who have dreams, you know, to the comment underneath which says, you're arrogant, you're horrible, I can't stand you. And it's just like, and sometimes you go back to those people and you say, I'm really sorry you think that. And they're like, oh, no, I didn't mean it. I'm just trying to get your attention. I'm your biggest fan. And it's a mad world that we live in. And the whole kind of social media thing, and it's all based around followers and fans, and, oh, you know, until you get to X amount of followers, you can't be successful and this kind of stuff. So trying to deal with all that and stay grounded and, you know, and show achievements and think, wow, you know, I've got nearly 2 million followers across YouTube, social media and stuff, and that's amazing. But wanting to push for more, but actually thinking, you know what, if I don't get more and God's just blessed me with that amount, then that's cool. And it's that balance between, I want to be the most successful person I can be, but also it's not the most important thing in my life.
Yeah, amazing. I think that's amazing. And like you say, it can be such a challenge to, like, particularly for people like doing the sort of thing that you do. You're just constantly pushing yourself to get more likes and to get more likes, and you can kind of, the temptation could be that that's where you get your value from. But, you know, I can hear in what you're saying that as a Christian, your value comes from the fact that you've got a relationship with Jesus, and you know that that's where your value comes from.
But it doesn't mean that I think it's important to say that, like, for people watching this, I do, you know, I still sometimes I've got to be really careful, because if, you know, like at the minute, it seems like views across YouTube and across social media in general are quite low, and I'm putting a lot of effort into stuff, and I'm getting loads of positive comments on the videos, but it's so easy to fall back into, I'm just, you know, I'm not making videos anymore. It's like a daily thing. I have to tell myself, no, like, you know, I'm doing this because I love it, and because God's made me and He's gifted me and He wants me to use my skills. So it's that battle, but it's not just because I'm where I am now, I still struggle with the same stuff. And that's why I think, you know, I look at these big A-list celebrities, and I think you've got it all, but actually you're lonely, or you're suffering with anxiety and depression, because it's a real tough kind of industry to be in and be successful in.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. I absolutely love what you're doing. I completely agree that you have got a gift from God and you are using it, and that is glorifying Him. So keep doing what you're doing. Dan, if people want to check out more of your stuff, where can they go to find more of what you're doing?
Yeah, just check it out on YouTube. It's my kind of main platform that I'm uploading on. I upload on pretty much every platform every day, or not most days. So yeah, YouTube, just search my name, Daniel Cutting. Instagram, TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok, guys. Sorry to say it. All my social media stuff. I feel ashamed to say it, but I've got some good videos on there, guys. Go and check them out. You know, I think you'll enjoy it. All my social media is all DC Freestyle, and then my YouTube channel is Daniel Cutting. So like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Get involved. That'd be good to see you over there on my platforms.
Yeah, mate, nice one. Thank you so much again for joining us. It's an absolute privilege to have you with us. And take care, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you get all right with the quiz. Enjoy, everyone. See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
See ya. There you go. Thank you guys so much for. We had a few questions in, but they kind of got answered as we were going along. There was questions about. I think a few people asked what's his record amount of keepy uppies, and we heard it in there. It's 27,000 or something like that. So thank you for sending your questions in. Like Daniel said, go and check him out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.